If you love lemon and blueberry, then you are going to love this cheesecake. It's thick, creamy, so delicious, and with the addition of some extra egg yolk, it really makes the lemon flavor pop. Cheesecakes can be a little confusing and not really complicated, but time-consuming, so if you haven't done one, I'm going to show you exactly what to do today. I'm Lindsay from Life, Love, and Sugar, and today we're making lemon blueberry cheesecake. All right, so first up is your crust. We're making a graham cracker crust for this cheesecake, so you're gonna put your graham cracker crumbs into your bowl first. You can often actually buy those already crushed, which is really nice. And we're gonna add a little bit of sugar and your melted butter. So mix all that together until the crumbs are nicely coated. If you find you have any chunks left in there, you're going to want to take those out because those can kind of break up your cheesecake crust and make it a little more crumbly when it's done. I like to spray the inside sides of my springform pan with a baking spray so that things don't stick, and then I line the bottom with parchment paper to help make it easier to slide the cheesecake off the pan later when it's done baking. Then we're going to add our crumbs. All right, you're going to want to spread them around. I like a nice thick crust that goes up the sides of the cheesecake as well as being on the bottom. So I'll push some extra crumbs out to the side, and then you could grab a measuring cup or anything with a nice straight side. And then I use this to actually kind of shape my crust and press it into the pan. So I'll start with the bottom and then kind of work my way over to the sides and push the crust up the sides. And because this has a nice straight side and good corner, it gives me nice corners in my cheesecake. All right, so once that's all pressed in nicely, I'll use my fingers to just kind of finish up the tops. All right, once everything is pressed into your pan, you can pop this in the oven for about 8 minutes to bake. All right, so while your crust is baking, you can go ahead and start on your filling. We're gonna start with our cream cheese. This should be softened. It's very important that this be soft and not too cool because you're going to want to mix your cheesecake filling on low speed so that you don't add too much air to your batter, which can cause cracks in a cheesecake. So if this is not cool enough, you're going to have to do more mixing than you want to do in order to smooth it out. So the warmer the better, room temperature warmer. Next we'll add our sugar and a little bit of flour. So again, we're going to mix these on low speed and combine them until they're well combined and smooth. You can always scrape down the sides of your bowl and the beater blade to make sure that everything's getting well incorporated. I even like to scrape down in the bottom of the bowl just so you're not getting like chunks of cream cheese that stick down there and end up leaving lumps in your batter later. So once everything is combined and smooth, you're going to want to add your sour cream, your fresh lemon juice, and lemon zest. And then again, we'll mix everything together until it's nice and smooth. So next you're going to want to add your egg yolks and your whole eggs. We've got 2 egg yolks here, and I like to use some egg yolks instead of just all whole eggs because the egg yolks really amplify that lemon flavor and make it pop. And then again, you'll want to mix everything together until it's smooth and keep it on low speed. And I'm just going to gradually add the other eggs, scrape down the side of the bowl as needed, and just kind of incorporate them and then add the next one. Once all that's well combined, I like to make sure I give everything one final stir. And then we're going to stir in our fresh blueberries. All right, so by now your crust should be baked and ready. So we're going to grab our cheesecake crust and pour our filling into it. I just like to take my offset spatula and smooth it around. The other thing to keep in mind with cheesecakes is one thing that can cause cracks is if you have chunky stuff in your filling and it rises to the surface, I'll actually push them down a little just to try and keep cracks from happening. So once you have this all spread in here, you're ready to go. You actually want to prepare your pan for a water bath. I know not everyone loves a water bath, but it really does make a better cheesecake. One of the biggest problems with a water bath is your pan leaking. As much as all springform pans claim that they're leak-proof, I've met maybe one ever that was leak-proof, and it didn't stay that way for long. So I have a way of setting up my pans for a water bath that actually helps make sure that water's not going to get in. So the thing about aluminum foil is it's really easy for that to get tiny little cracks in it when you're wrapping your pan with it. So even though it seems like water shouldn't get in with the foil, it actually does. A bag isn't going to get tiny little cracks, so you actually can set your cheesecake in the bag, and then I wrap some foil around the outside just in case, and then I put that inside my water bath. Now that we've got that all wrapped, we're going to set this inside a larger pan and fill it with warm water, and that's what actually makes up our water bath. Just be careful not to get any of that water into your cheesecake. So this is just tap water, and you want to make sure you fill up the pan that you're pouring the water into about halfway. You'll actually see that when you take the cheesecake out of the oven, a lot of it has kind of evaporated, so you want to make sure there's enough in there. So one other little tip that I have before you put your cheesecake into the oven, if you happen to notice some air bubbles rising to the surface, because that does happen, you can use a little toothpick and actually pop them, and then you don't have problems with air bubbles. So now we're going to pop this in the oven and bake it. It's about 1 hour and 20 minutes at 300 degrees in your oven, and then there's kind of a slow cooling process which helps this bake and not crack. You're actually going to leave the door of your oven closed, turn off the oven, and let it keep baking, but also start to slowly cool for about half an hour. And then from there, you're going to crack your oven and let it cool for about another half hour. So while your cheesecake is in the oven, you can go ahead and make your blueberry sauce for topping it. We're going to start with some sugar and then some cornstarch to help thicken things up. And then we're going to add a little bit of water. I'm just going to add a couple teaspoons. You can add anywhere from 2 to 4 teaspoons. It just depends on how thick or thin of a sauce you like. And then we're going to heat this until it all kind of starts to melt. So you're just kind of looking to get that sugar melting so you don't end up with graininess in your sauce. All right, so the sugar is looking mostly melted, so we're going to go ahead and add our blueberries. And so now we just want to cook our blueberries again over medium heat until they start to pop and release their juices. Once the juices are coming out and you've got kind of a nice sauce going, keep stirring and letting it go until it starts to thicken. You just want to be sure that you don't let it thicken too much. You got to keep in mind that as it cools, it's going to continue to thicken. So take it off when it's starting to thicken, but not too thick, so that you don't have like a chunky sauce, unless that's what you like. Okay, so now we've got our cheesecake. It has been baked, slowly cooled in the oven, and then cooled in the fridge for about 5 to 6 hours so that it's nice and firm. This is actually a great recipe to make ahead because you could just pop it in the fridge and leave it there overnight and then finish it off in the morning. Let's go ahead and remove the sides. This should be firm enough that you can actually just slide it off of the pan. But if you're having trouble, you can use a little offset spatula. Just kind of run it along the bottom to loosen it. I should feel it kind of loosen. And then I actually can slide this right off onto my hand and pull off the parchment paper. Your cheesecake should be firm enough that you can do that without it falling apart. And actually you can see the parchment paper is actually coming right off on its own. If it doesn't, you can hold onto the cheesecake and pull it off. But often it just slides right off for me. So see, I'm just holding this. You could pull it off if you needed to. And then you can place this right on your serving plate. So once you've got your cheesecake on your serving plate and ready to go, we're actually going to make our whipped cream. So you'll take your mixer bowl. You're going to want to use the whisk attachment. We'll add our heavy whipping cream. You want to make sure it's nice and cold so that it whips up well. We'll add some powdered sugar. This not only sweetens it a little bit, but it actually helps stabilize your whipped cream so that it's not going to wilt when it's sitting on top of your cheesecake. I can actually leave this whipped cream on a cheesecake in the fridge for like a full week and it won't deflate, so the powdered sugar really helps with that. And then some vanilla extract for good flavor. And we'll just pop this on our mixer and whip it until you get stiff peaks. All right, so it's looking pretty good. So when you lift this up, if your whipped cream stands up straight, you've got stiff peaks. Here's our piping bag. I've got a nice closed star tip. It's a large one, not too large. It's the 844 Teco tip. And now you have your finished lemon blueberry cheesecake, ready to go, perfect for serving for your guests or hoarding for yourself. It's thick, creamy, delicious, and so full of lemon flavor. It's perfect for spring and summer. I know you're gonna love it. For the full recipe, head over to lifeloveandsugar.com.